And welcome back to Echo Base Network. I am the coach. Today we're going to continue our mini documentary series called Retrospectives. Have you ever wanted to know more about IG bounty hunter droids? With the recent Mandalorian hit, the interest level in these droids has soared. Boba Fett was the bounty hunter that everybody wanted to know more about. Nobody really cared about IG-88 in The Empire Strikes Back. And recently, due to The Mandalorian, there's great interest in these battle droids. And we thank Disney for that. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and launch this episode of Retrospectives. We hope that you enjoy it. Please comment below and let us know what would you like to know more about on the next episode of Retrospectives.
IG-88, also known as IG-88B or as a flat droid, was a rogue deadly masculine IG series assassin droid manufactured by Hollow Laboratories, who worked as a bounty hunter. Following the Battle of Hoth, he and several other bounty hunters were summoned by Darth Vader to the Executor and hired to track down the Millennium Falcon and her rebel crew. Unable to track his quarry, IG-88 trailed his chief rival, Boba Fett, to Bespin, where the bounty hunter nearly destroyed the assassin droid. However, IG-88 managed to survive. At some point, IG-88 undertook a software infiltration into Death Star 2, but his plan was single-handedly thwarted by R2-Q5. The droid later met with mercenary Bazine Neatal to speak about the location of the Millennium Falcon. The first of the IG series assassin droid models, created in secret by Hollow Laboratories. IG-88 realized his skill and desired to kill the moment he was first activated and turned on his creators, killing everyone in the lab. From that moment on, he became one of the most feared bounty hunters in the galaxy, in part due to the lingering fear of droids from the Clone Wars, particularly those capable of battle and assassination, gaining notoriety comparable only to that of Boba Fett, his chief rival. By the year 0 AB, IG-88 consorted with the crime lord Jabba the Hutt. He was present in the Hutt's palace while Jabba received Darth Vader. The Sith Lord told the Hutt to dispense with his audience, and IG-88, along with fellow hunters, including Fett and Forlom, departed from the court. In 3 AB, IG-88 answered a call put out by Vader for bounty hunters to track down the Millennium Falcon. He and several other hunters, including Boba Fett, Bosk, Dinga, Zuckuss, and Forlom, assembled aboard the Executor, where Vader offered a bounty for the live capture of Han Solo and his companions. IG-88 tailed the Millennium Falcon, along with Fett, to Cloud City on the planet Bespin, where the assassin droid was defeated and left for scrap after his longtime rival caught it trailing him. Ultimately, Darth Vader captured Solo for Boba Fett, who then delivered the bounty to Jabba on Tatooine. A rogue Class 4 assassin droid, IG-88 was obsessed with hunting, destroying, and killing as a result of his incompletely formed droid programming. He tended to hunt alone, and earned a reputation as a merciless hunter. IG-88, originally referred to as a Chrome War droid in the script and also called Flood droid during production, was originally created for the 1980 film, Star Wars. Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back. His mechanical puppet was constructed by Bill Hargreaves and Steve Short of the props team and special effects department, whose design was a complete departure from concept artist Ralph McQuarrie's version. IG-88's cylindrical head was originally a combustion chamber in a Rolls-Royce Durwood jet engine, which was previously used as part of the distillery setup seen in Chalmers Spaceport Cantina in the 1977 film, Star Wars, Episode 4 A New Hope. McQuarrie would revise his earlier IG-88 design during the production of Return of the Jedi. Considered an assassin droid, it did not appear in any version of the film's screenplay, but was for the basis for EV-9D9, another practical droid built by Hargreaves and Short. McQuarrie's early concept art of IG-88 later inspired the design of the IGRM bodyguard and enforcer droid. While Lucasfilm has no official record of the identity of the technician that operated IG-88 in The Empire Strikes Back, the official Star Wars Authentics website has credited the role to Bill Hargreaves. However, the online database IMDb instead credits Paul Klein as the puppeteer of IG-88, as well as that of BGJ-38 and EV-9D9 in The Return of the Jedi. Despite this, there is no Paul Klein credited as a member of the Empire Strikes Back's effects crew. As in often relies upon unconfirmed information submitted by fans, and Star Wars Insider was unable to determine who submitted said information, it is currently unknown whether or not Klein actually operated IG-88. Oddly, Star Wars Authentics credits Clyde in place of Hargreaves in the description of the photograph titled Darth Vader, Dengar IG-88 and Boba Fett, despite having credited the latter in the descriptions of nearly every other live-action image of IG-88 available for purchase on the website. Though we may never know who was responsible for handling the droid on set, IG-88 has gone down in Star Wars history as a very interesting figure who made great contributions to the lore.
Alright everybody, it's your boy, it's the coach. I just got a hot tip from a friend who sent me a message over Facebook. It was a tag from a yard sale. They have a box, they described it as a 35 to 40 year old box full of toys such as Star Wars, G.I. Joes, and Transformers. So I just saw this message from my friend this morning. I happened to be off work, so I am headed as quickly as I can. It is 8:45 a.m. here, and I'm sure that they started this yard sale probably around 7. So if the toys are still there and the price is right, they are going to the coach's house. And if they are not, then I'm going to be sad and walk away, and it's going to be a loss. I wish I had gotten up earlier and looked at Facebook, but I did not. So you snooze, you lose. But I do want to say that I greatly appreciate my old friend Matt sending me the tip and letting me know, because it's exciting, man. It really gets the blood pumping when you know that there are some vintage toy goodies right down the road for sale. So let's go see what happens. Update. I messaged the seller, and it's actually the garage sale, the yard sale is at his mother's house, but I messaged the seller and he said that they should still be there this morning, and that he has in his car a box with between 80 and 100 action figures. He didn't say what toy line, but he said 80 to 100 action figures are in a box in his car, and he's going to send me pictures of those. So definitely interested. He also said that, you know, that they're not giving these away, that they're hoping to find a collector or whatever, but that doesn't mean that they know what these things are worth. So, you know, I don't know. We'll just see. He did mention selling them on eBay if he didn't find somebody, so we'll see. There wasn't very much there. Very few toys were left by the time I got there. But I had messaged and had that dialogue with the guy, and he said that he would send me the pictures. Well, he did. And his car is loaded. And it's not just 80 figures either. It's boxes and boxes of vehicles, monsters, all kinds of stuff. So we're going to meet up. He said that he would take around $350 to $400 for the entire collection. I told him that if it wasn't too beat up, that I would probably do that. So we're supposed to meet this afternoon. So I'll update you later. All right, it worked out. I am now driving back home, and the collection is in the back. I know you can see a little bit of it right there. So I got like 3 or 4 boxes. All right, all right. We are You Are Echo Base Network. Let's bring him on in, folks. What's up, brother? Okay, well, he's not here. He'll show up in a minute, I guess. Give us a one. Give us a one if you guys like the random live streams. We'll be doing this a lot more often in the summertime. We are doing this. Some news just came out that we're about to hit. It's laughable. It will be reported on by a lot of people. But we want to say welcome to our members, welcome to our subscribers, and welcome to any and all guests. We got 45 people in the stream right now. If you don't mind, guys, let's share this thing out and get more people here. Nick says he will be here in 5 minutes. His dogs made a mess. That's okay, guys. I think we can handle it together. So, hail to Credsox05, Mace Windu, Will the Cook, Jonathan Redmond, Fenrir Fire, Dee Myers, Andrew Hopper, TD 15169. I said that like Captain Kirk. Project Cambrian, Norbson, Colleen Guerra, and Mike Trout. And let's see if there's anybody else that Batman, big fan, one of our oldest subscribers. He is one of the originals. Welcome. Connor Fuller, Steve Large 77. Welcome, guys. The Jester of Sin, OG, Crypto Miner, Rogue Soul. So awesome, guys. Awesome, awesome. Thank you guys so much for being here. A little bit of news came out just an hour ago. And we are going to jump into that. This is going to be much like last night's live stream, where it's definitely more laid back, more chill, not as planned. We're going to go through the news. You can actually see the news over at Digital Spy, of all places. Digital Spy is one place, rather, and then Screen Rant is the other. And it's really interesting right now that the media, the day before the Disney Investors Update, the media is going out of its way to attack the best Star Wars we've ever had, the original trilogy. It's peculiar, isn't it? Let me drink out of my Lightsaber coffee cup. So we're going to get into all of that. Hey, guys, glad y'all are here. Connor Fuller says he tripped over Geode. That's funny. He tripped over Geode today. Who posted this BS article by Dummy Brother? The main article that we're looking at is over at Screen Rant. And if you want to go through it with me, I'm going to share my screen and let you guys see this. So bringing it in right here. It is 10 major flaws of the original trilogy that fans chose to ignore. I'm guessing they're saying basically we're just too stupid to figure it all out or something. I don't know. Who knows, guys? Who knows? And I want to kind of wait until Nick gets back here, because we're going to go over these things 1 through 10. I'll tell you what, if you want to read ahead of me, you can. But I only read reason number 10, and I stopped. And I called Nick and said, let's go live. We're gonna go live because whoever, Cheyenne Hoover from Screen Rant, wrote this. Yeah, that's such a good point right there, Jonathan Redmond. It's like the Mike Zero of print. I get what you are saying. Oh, what a great comment. What a great comment. The original trilogy has only one flaw from Connor Fuller. There was only 3 of them. Exactly. Dummy Brother, you ignore flaws in the Mona Lisa because the overall work is excellent. Yes, yes, yes.
All right, guys.
You're here.
I'm back.
Well, let's dig into this. You ready, brother?
Yep.
I cannot wait to get Nick's takes on this lunacy right here. This is what I was just telling everybody, Nick, is that Screen Rant, of all places, it's just, muckraking at its finest. They picked today, the day before the Disney Investor Update, to throw shade at the original trilogy. So you see the article title here, 10 major flaws of the original trilogy that fans choose to ignore. So I'm going to go over these one at a time with you, Nick, and I'm going to let you offer the commentary, and we'll see what all you have to say here. So here we go. Are you ready?
Yep. While you're scrolling down on that, this will be my 5th stream in 2 days.
This will be my 3rd. It's my 3rd, right? Yeah, I jumped in Tim Meyer's stream last night.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, 5.
All right, here we go. The Skywalker saga has its flaws. They really started with that. This is going to be fun, guys. The Skywalker saga has its flaws. And when the audience connects them all together to look at the whole story, there will always be missing pieces or things that could have been done differently. Yet, Nick, you're gonna have to read the article. I gotta answer this real quick.
All right. So let's see here. Where did he leave off? There'll be always missing pieces or things that could have been done differently. Yet overall, the movies send a positive message and it is a timeless series. Well, they got that right. It is for sure a timeless series. The OT is for sure. And I do think that the overall story of the original trilogy is for sure a positive message. Good versus evil, the redemption of Darth Vader, the hope of Luke Skywalker, when times are at their worst. So, yeah, I agree with that so far.
All right, well, let's move on to number 10 real quick. And, Nick, I do have those people coming by the house, so I won't be gone very long, but you could just keep going through these things.
All right.
And let everybody else speak on this too. All right, guys, well, here we go. Number 10, the first lightsaber duel. Now, let's say what they're saying about this before we prejudge it. The first lightsaber duel, right there. You see the image.
Mm-hmm.
While the practically standstill lightsaber battle between Darth Vader and Obi-Wan Kenobi was the first of many, it was lackluster. A major flaw of the battle itself is when Obi-Wan does a random spin to dodge a saber strike, and Vader has plenty of time to strike again, but doesn't. Movie choreography wasn't quite up to snuff at the time compared to what would later be treated to in the series, but given the climactic battle the two engage in the 3rd episode of the series, this just seems laughable.
I think they got a valid point there, looking back on it, after what we got from the prequels and what we saw from Vader in Rogue One, and even some of the stuff in the terrible sequel trilogy, and even the animated stuff. So I think they got a point there. The Obi-Wan Vader lightsaber duel is definitely the most lackluster one out of all of them. I still like it and I still enjoy it, because before we got any of this other stuff, nobody really thought that, so.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, I totally disagree with it, and it absolutely ticks me off reading it. Because to me it's not lackluster at all, and their point is only supported retroactively. Because from 1977 to 1999, nobody walked around saying, "Oh man, that fight with Obi-Wan and Vader really sucked." Nobody said that. It wasn't until we got all of the action hyped up prequel and even sequel fights that they're trying to make this something that they think is, to their words, laughable. And this choice of language here, to me, is what makes me the angriest. Like, to call it that, you just spit all over Alec Guinness. That angers me. And here I am being a fandom menace. If you ever doubted me being fandom menace, hope you're tuning in, because that pisses me off. that they use this word right here. He is my favorite character, and I don't. So he's older, and I've heard it said, Nick, too, for people who want to justify this, that Vader. We know that Vader retroactively was an incredible fighter. Look at Rogue One. If Vader fought like that, then he would have demolished Obi-Wan. Everybody kind of gets that. But I have heard it said somewhere that Vader chose not to fight like that because, one, he was still possibly a little torn with the good in him, and two, he was holding back because he was still somewhat fearful of Obi-Wan, because Obi-Wan probably could have picked up the pace too.
Yeah.
And I don't think that Obi-Wan was fighting to survive. I think he was or fighting to win, rather. I don't think he was fighting to win. He was fighting and holding on and holding on. And we had his moment. He dropped his saber and let it end. So I don't like this at all. And yes, their entire premise is built retroactively. Nobody from 77, let me say it again, nobody from 77 to 99 walked around saying, that saber fight sucked. Nobody said that.
Yeah. I mean, I still don't think it sucks, but I see where they're coming from. Like, I don't think it's laughable, but it doesn't upset me as much as you on that point, on that lightsaber duel.
Yeah. Yep. All good. And it's a perfect example of how we could all still get along when we disagree.
Yeah.
Nick's not fired up about it like I am, but it just rubbed me raw, and I said, we're going live. So here we are. And look, I want to see what people are saying in the chat. Let's go. Let's drop the 10 flaws of Screen Rant.
Yeah.
Yeah, but comparing action scenes from 40 years ago, apples and oranges. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't think it was laughable in 77. That's exactly my point, Johnny.
Yeah,
That's
I agree with that.
Very well said. The Duel is a classic in its old-fashioned dueling style with two-handed grip. Absolutely, Christian. That's absolutely true. Colleen, yes, but the point wasn't a duel. Obi-Wan was just buying time for Luke. That's exactly what I just said, Colleen. I agree. Absolutely. Great point. Hail to Jonathan Hurst. Welcome to the family, man.
Love the Indiana Jones avatar.
Absolutely.
Jonathan
From
Hurst.
Temple of Doom, I might add, the best of the three.
Yeah, that's my favorite. I actually watched it the other night. They had it on TBS or TNT, one of those channels. It was
Mike
on.
Trout said action scenes evolved as audiences did. That's true. That's a true statement. Connor Fuller, tech didn't exist before New Hope to have laser swords like that. And Colleen Guerra is feeling what I'm saying about this whole thing. So thank you, Colleen. We appreciate that. All right, Nick, you ready to... Oh, we got 2 super chats. Let's hit those real quick, and we'll move on to number 9.
All right.
So we have. Let me use the force. Pop that up. Iron Man sends a $5 super chat. I am working, but hey, Nick and Coach, my guys. Thank you, Iron Man, for that super chat and the support here. We love you, bro. Thank you so much.
Hail, Iron Man.
And Mike Trout, another one of our members here, says Vader can't use force powers easily versus force users either, and agreed Obi-Wan was buying time. Plus, Vader was apprehensive versus his former master who beat him. All excellent points, Mike.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Excellent points. Yeah, that's like that is logic right there. Very, very good. So Iron Man and Mike Trout, thank y'all so much for those super chats. We are Echo Based Network, and this video is for you. No. Hang on. I got a different one. I got a different. You already know what I'm doing, guys. You already know what I'm doing. But it must be done. It must be done. What I'm about to do, Nick, you want to tell everybody?
I have no clue.
Good. I like it. I like it when I have you on your toes.
I have no clue.
Oh, here it comes. Here it comes. Here it comes. And while we are at it and that little quick video is uploading, I'm pulling out something new from my pool of Super Chat videos. Iron Man sent another $5 Super Chat. This is for my wife telling me to stop spending money on strangers. This is for her not telling me what to do. Hey, we're not strangers anymore, my friend.
Yeah, part of the
Thank you.
family, man.
That's right. Thank you, Iron Man, and tell your wife we said hello. Mike Trout says, I smell a new vid. You, sir, are correct. We are You Are Echo Base Network, and this video is for you. Yeah, that's right. In your flippin' face, Screen Rant. All right. I'm on fire today, aren't I? All right. Let's move on to number 9. Number 9. The Empire Strikes... Oh, it's titled Leia Staying Back with Luke. Leia Staying Back with Luke. The Empire Strikes Back is often touted as the saga's best movie, but it is not flawless. The second installation of the original trilogy left things in a weird place with Luke and Leia, and yet Leia stayed back with Luke at the end, even though it was obvious that at that point she and Han would be the love interest. That she and Han would be the love interest. Princess Leia wasn't typically one to let people go on a mission without her, so why would Lando and Chewie go rescue Han without her? This moment wouldn't be considered a flaw if Luke and Leia realized they were siblings before this, but without that factor, it just seems odd that Leia stays behind.
I don't think it's odd because I saw Han and Lando basically being like scouts. You know, we're going to go out, find out if Han's there, find out where they're keeping him, try to infiltrate Jabba's, gangster mob of people, and then formulate a plan once we gather information and intel and that sort of stuff. So, and she probably had stuff with the Rebel Alliance going on there. They just got back with the Rebel fleet. So, I mean, that perfectly made sense to me, why her and Luke stayed behind. They were basically, staying back. He was, healing, just got his new hand and, doing their own thing while Chewie and Lando went and basically scouted the stuff out and gathered intel.
Yeah, exactly. And I completely agree with you. I don't think it was weird at all. Now, it would have at least helped. What's the writer's name? It would have helped Cheyenne if she had at least mentioned that Leia did kiss Luke on the Falcon when Luke was hurt after the rescue. So that is, if she really honed in on that, she may have a valid point. Even with that, I still don't feel that it was odd.
Yeah, I don't either.
Like, how many of you guys have kissed 2 girls in the same week?
Yeah.
Is it possible that she could have liked both of the guys at this point or whatever? Yeah, we didn't know that Leia was Luke's brother, but I think this is a very weak argument here. So far, it's very weak. I mean, let's go back to it. 10 major flaws of the original trilogy that fans choose to ignore.
Yeah, that wasn't major.
That's not major.
So far, I haven't heard a major one yet.
No. Now, Nick, I'm going to need you to take over and take us to number 8. It's just getting better. And I'll be back here in just a moment.
All right. I can't scroll down on this, so I don't know.
You're going to have to go to the link and do it yourself.
All right. Let's see here. This is a Screen Rant article, right? Did this just come out? Where's this article? I can't freaking find this article. I don't know where he got this. Oh, wait. I just found it. Okay. So, let me share my screen here. I can't add it to the stream because I'm not, I don't have admin rights, so I can't do anything. I'm locked out from doing anything. Hang on. Actually, I think I can join from, hang on, I'm going to have to sign in differently here. Freaking things you go through on a random, unplanned, spur of the moment live stream. Let's see here. Inner broadcast. Okay. I think we're good. All right, let me pull this article over here onto this monitor. Let me zoom in here so you guys can actually read what we are actually going through. Share screen. Add to stream. Okay. All right, so which one were we on? Number 8. So when Leia told Han to stop. All right, so if you guys are just joining, Coach just stepped away for a minute. We're going over the Screen Rant article on Star Wars 10 major flaws of the original trilogy that fans choose to ignore. Just quick update. Number 10 was the first lightsaber duel. They basically said it was lackluster and laughable compared to what we have gotten in the prequels, in the new movies, which I understand their point on. Coach was not happy about that. Leia staying back with Luke when Han and Chewie left to go find Han made sense to me. And here we are, number 8. So when Leia told Han to stop. So Han Solo was never traditional in his courtship of Leia, as neither of them wanted to admit to their feelings. But he went too far when he acted without consent. I'm surprised they have not tried canceling Han Solo at this point, you know, with the crazy cancel culture going on. Princess Leia was trying to fix the Millennium Falcon, and Han whatever soldered. I don't even know what that word is. Anyways, I'm sure you guys know what that is. I'm sure you guys will tell me in the chat. Anyways, he massaged her hand. She told him to stop, and he didn't. She backed away, and he still pursued her by leaning in. While the relationship later develops, well, Han came onto her in a way that would make anyone uncomfortable. That said, it was a move very characteristic of the cocky space pirate. Okay. Yeah. I mean, that was his character. That was just the type of person he was. So I think this is definitely another stupid one. Number 8 on this list is definitely another stupid one, in my opinion. Let's see here. Let me pull up the chat here because I can't see it. Okay. All right. Now I'm situated. All right. So, yeah, that one made no sense to me. All right. Number 7, a second Death Star. After the first Death Star, scientists built and an accessible exhaust port that was relatively easily foiled by the rebellion, Emperor Palpatine still thought it would be a good idea to create a second Death Star in hopes that having a less accessible central nerve would prevent the same issue. The fact that this evil mastermind assumed that with a rebellion lingering in the galaxy that he would be able to build a second planet-killing machine and not get caught or fooled is a major flaw in his judgment. In the films, though, it's a testament to the arrogance of the Emperor. I mean, the Emperor definitely was arrogant, for sure. But that was the ultimate weapon that they had. So it makes sense that they built. So the second one was actually built bigger, and that flaw from the first one was not in the second one. So it was a bigger, more powerful Death Star without that same flaw. So again, I mean, I can kind of understand the point of really another Death Star, but it also makes sense because that was the most powerful weapon in the galaxy. It gave them power because they would be able to cause fear in planets that would try to rise up against them, because they basically had a weapon that would just take out the whole planet. So it makes sense. Now, once you get to the sequel trilogy and they went even bigger than that, then at that point it's just like, really another Death Star type weapon, but this one takes out multiple planets. It's sort of like, if there's any Dragon Ball Z fans out there, which me and Coach are huge Dragon Ball Z fans, but the characters in Dragon Ball Z kept, they would get really powerful, then they would go Super Saiyan, then Super Saiyan 2, Super Saiyan 3, and then it kept going, and it just after a while it's just like, okay, this is kind of getting old at this point. You gotta come up with something different. So yeah, this is another one on this list here that it makes sense to me for Jedi. All right, so number 6, Luke landing on Dagobah. By the time Luke was in search of Jedi Master Yoda, he had some semblance of what the Force was and some coordinates to get him to the swamp planet of Dagobah. What didn't make sense here is how he landed so near to where Yoda would be. Maybe it can be chalked up to Yoda knowing through the Force that Luke has landed, but it was just another moment unexplained. So, yeah, they actually make a good point there, but the thing is, Obi-Wan told Luke what to do, and Obi-Wan at that point was able to communicate as a Force ghost. So I'm sure him and Yoda, spoke, and when Luke was coming in that first time, it was almost like all his instrument panels and stuff went out, and to me, I'm looking at it like, looking back on it, is Yoda like used the Force and basically pulled his ship down to where he was at and made it crash, close by where he was at. Yeah, of course it wasn't explained, but again, these are fantasy movies. Not every single little detail has to be explained. You got to leave some room for imagination there. And that's what a space fantasy is kind of all about for me. You still have that bit of your own imagination and your own understanding and points of views on things. Science fiction, hardcore science fiction, like Star Trek and all that sort of stuff, takes into effect and into account of actual real science and that sort of stuff. It's more based in like reality of how things work in the universe and stuff like that. But this Star Wars is a space fantasy, so there's that room for self-interpretation And that's kind of how I saw it. Yoda basically brought that ship down using the Force. So yeah, of course it wasn't explained, but I didn't really think we needed an explanation on that. Let's see. Number 5, Boba Fett's luck. In Star Wars Episode 5, or no, that was 7. No, that was. They got that wrong. The Empire Strikes Back was Episode 5. That should just be a V. So, anyways, mistake on their part there. So in The Empire Strikes Back, Boba Fett is employed by Darth Vader to pursue the Millennium Falcon. Meanwhile, Han and the crew found a way to blend in with the trash and wait to detach when the Star Destroyer dumped before taking off into hyperspace. Not long after fans see the Falcon take off with the trash, Boba Fett's ship, the Slave One, follows after it. Boba Fett and Han have some history with Jabba the Hutt, but fans were given no reason to believe Boba knew Han well enough to know how he would escape the Empire. Yeah, I mean, okay. But again, it's just, it's space fantasy. It's not explained, but Boba Fett knew somehow that, the Falcon was still there. Maybe he didn't know it was attached to the Star Destroyer. Maybe he was like, they got some sort of cloaking device. Maybe they're hiding somewhere or something. I'm going to just slip out with the trash, wait for everybody to disappear, and then see if they happen to be around. Maybe it was just a complete guess on his part, instinct, basically being the great bounty hunter that he is. I didn't really need an explanation there, but that's just me. All right, number 4, Chewbacca finding C-3PO in pieces. Chewbacca and friends were getting a tour of Lando Calrissian City in the clouds when Chewie heard a noise, but he didn't immediately investigate. That noise happened to be C-3PO getting blasted into pieces. Chewie later happened upon the furnace room and recovered oh, good God. I don't know who the editor of this was. I'm guessing Chewie later happened to come upon the furnace room and recovered C-3PO's body. And it was an altogether relatively weird series of events. Again, it doesn't need an explanation for me. He basically heard something, turned around, came back, didn't see 3PO, and was probably like, oh, I guess, he's, doing whatever, he'll catch up with us later or something. Well, later on, when they couldn't find him anywhere, Chewie goes looking for him and probably went back to the last time that they know that they saw him and probably looked in that area, or whatever. Who knows? It didn't really need an explanation. It doesn't have to be explained. Again, not every tiny thing has to be explained. Number 3, Yoda's death and Luke's training. Luke's training timeline was always ambiguous after his first visit to Dagobah, but it got even further muddled when Luke was suddenly calling himself a Jedi Knight in Return of the Jedi. When Luke goes back to Dagobah and Return of the Jedi, it was what the audience assumed was the second visit because Luke said, I have a promise to keep to an old friend. But based on the abilities Luke showcased on Jabba's barge in the Dune Sea, he should have gone back to train at least one more time before rescuing Han and the others. Yoda also seems to die when it is most convenient rather than as a catalyst for Luke's training. I mean, I understand what they're saying there. Luke should have went back one more time before they went and rescued Han. But, it's sort of like, I don't know how many musicians are in the chat, but I play guitar and I've taught people before. And literally what I've done is I've taught them what they need to work on and taught them the basics. And then they go and practice that stuff and train themselves in that stuff and then get better. It's not me. They don't have to come back to me for another guitar lesson or something to get better. I basically show them and teach them what they need to work on, what they need to do. And that's the way I saw Luke. We have like a 2 or 3 year span of time between Empire and Jedi. And during that time, that's a long time for Luke to be working on what was taught to him, and he know what he needed to work on and know what he needed to train for and focus on and that sort of thing. So everything that he learned from Yoda, he just worked on what he was taught and got even better at it. So by the time he shows up there at Jabba's, he's way more skilled in advance. And I think that's kind of what they were going for. You kind of see how much he has come along since the end of the last movie. In between that time span, you see how much he's progressed as a Jedi, and that was enough explanation for me. So all right, let's see here. Number 2, treatment of women. Oh God, I should have known this one would have been in here. So Leia Organa is one of the most iconic and powerful female roles in fiction to this day, but the original trilogy lacked the ability to properly highlight women in the Star Wars universe and had trouble communicating sexy versus sexualization. The great example of this flaw is when Leia is forced to wear the metal bikini as a slave to Jabba the Hutt. Not only was Jabba's attraction to human women questionable, but Leia's outfit was just way too much. I 1000% disagree. And I don't know if it was Jabba's necessarily his attraction to human women, because it wasn't a human woman before Leia was there. It was a Twi'lek that was there. I think it's just him basically having that power and kind of showing off like a slave trophy, to everybody else there. I mean, obviously, what's he going to do with a human or another species female character? He can't do anything with them as far as sexualization or anything like that. But I thought it was freaking awesome. Any guy growing up in that time freaking fantasized about Princess Leia after seeing Return of the Jedi. I mean, and the fact that Disney they're basically not promoting this. They're not making any merchandise with Slave Leia or anything like that. It's ridiculous to me. I loved it, and I think most Star Wars fans love that whole scene and that whole plot line there. So yeah, wasn't too much for me. I'm not buying into this. So whatever. All right, number 1, lack of diversity in the rebellion. While the racial uniformity of the Empire makes sense as a parallel for Nazi Germany, the rebellion is formed to fight for all planets, and as such is supposed to show how rich the galaxy is in alien species. The rebellion is still made of white pilots, generals, leaders, and more not really representing the diversity of the galaxy they fight for. Chewbacca is really one of the few aliens we see in the rebellion, and Lando is the only person of color. Not true, not true. There are plenty of alien species seen in the background to showcase an iconic Mos Eisley Cantina scene, but their appearances are so fleeting that they could hardly even be counted as extras. I completely disagree with that right there. But also at the time that these movies were made, it was just a different time, and all the extras and stuff, like all this was a large portion of this, especially the first movie, was all done over in England. And they used the crews and the extras and the people that they had over there, and they just used what they had. But Lando was not the only person of color, for sure. There was a black X-wing. Let's see here. OTJ. Yeah, Grizz Fricks. This guy right here. Yep, and he ended up getting shot down and getting killed, but he was in there. So Lando wasn't the only one, but yeah, there wasn't a whole ton of people of color and stuff in the original Star Wars movies. But honestly, I mean, all my friends that are Black Americans or not even from this country that are Star Wars fans, I've never heard them complain that they weren't represented enough in Star Wars. I mean, people don't love the movies because they're getting represented or whatever. It's the story. It doesn't really matter on the color of their skin or what their sex is or anything like that. That's just kind of ridiculous to me. But so yeah, those are the 10 things on the Screen Rant article. I kind of understand where they're kind of going with some of these, but some of these are stupid. The lack of diversity in the rebellion. It was way more relatable to me, having all these humans, because it was almost like, that this battle was between these species, of which was the vast majority of human people. It wasn't like the Wookiees versus some other alien race, like a galactic war between them. This was a primarily human raced sides that were at war with each other. That's how I always saw it, but that's it. The 10 flaws, which I didn't really see much of those as flaws, but whatever. It's Screen Rant. We had a couple super chats that came in here. Let me go back in the chat. I can't see all of them, so I'm just going to scroll back to the top to what I can see. Let me pull up my StreamYard again here. Let me remove that. Let me scroll back up here. Sorry, guys. Coach stepped away, and he normally does all this and has all of it pulled up. I was right in the middle of doing stuff, and he just hit me up last minute. I was like, let's go live. So it's kind of unprepared here. All right. So, hail Orville Nation, our good buddy Orville Nation. How about SJWs celebrate the fact that the slave girl kills the big bad guy Jabba with her bare hands? Yeah. That's a good point. You know, and they did say she is one of the most iconic, most powerful female characters, and that's her and Sigourney Weaver from Aliens. I mean, those were the two that I grew up on, and I loved both those characters growing up. So, Hell Orville Nation, thank you for that $5, brother. Good point. Good point. Good point. Let's see here. That's all I can highlight in this. I think I can see another one from the actual chat. Let me pull that up. I might be able to go back a little further here. All right, we got another $5 from Orville Nation. Great stories leave certain things unexplained on purpose. Lucas's choice, obviously. Yes, 100% agree with that, Orville Nation. As I said in there, not everything needs to be explained. When it's something major, like you can make that complaint with stuff in the sequel trilogy. But yeah, not everything in the original trilogy need to be explained at all. So let's see here. I already got that one. All right. If any other super chats came in before that, Coach will have to get those when he comes back. Because, well, I might be able to pull it up and see from here. Hang on. I don't ever do this, so you guys have to forgive me here. Let's see here. YouTube Studio. Content. Live. I'm trying to remember how you go into. I actually told Coach how to do this, so he could have this pulled up on his end. But that was freaking months ago, and I don't remember where you go to look at that at. Let's see here. See all. Okay, here we go. All right. I got it pulled up here. So, all right. So we read that one from Iron Man. All right, here we go. So Fat Steven Seagal sends a $2 super chat. I smell a lightsaber of hope on the binary sunset. So yeah, so Mexican Iron Man jumped in a stream that I did with Fat Steven Seagal yesterday, and Robert Pearson is sending us some replica Luke Jedi lightsabers, and we're going to be giving one of them away. And I told Mike that we were giving his to Fat Steven, and he could enter into the giveaway for the other one. Fat Steven Skull also sends another $2 super chat in. I kissed Geode once. I now have limestone disease. Oh, Geode. What a terrible, terrible character. Our good brother Orville Nation sent in another $5 super chat earlier that said, "This is such utter nonsense, Nick. Thanks for your great coverage. Love my Echo Base." And we love you, Orville Nation. And if you guys have not subbed to Orville Nation, definitely go sub to his channel over there. He does awesome stuff over there. Let's see here. Christian Jones sends out a $5 super chat. If they were so concerned about alien diversity, why don't they mention the lack of aliens in Disney's Star Wars? Yeah, that is true. I think we had maybe one in the I think we might have had maybe one that I remember specifically from The Force Awakens that was a pilot. But yeah, that was pretty much it. There wasn't a whole lot of diversity there. Let's see here. Let's see what the chat is saying. Dee Myers, phones needs charging. Be watching on big screen. Thanks, Coach and Nick, for the stream today. You guys rock. Thank you, Dee Myers. And yeah, if you can watch our live streams or our videos on a big screen and not on your phone, that is the way to do it. I know a lot of times, a lot of the other channels I listen to, I'll actually just share my screen from my mobile phone onto my main TV in the living room with the surround sound and stuff, and actually listen to it while I'm doing stuff around the house or that sort of thing. Let's see here. Eddie Gannon, I'm back out of the hospital. You'll be glad to know. Thank you to all of you in Echo Base Network for the well wishes. Well, that is great news, Eddie. Happy to hear that you're out of the hospital. Hopefully everything's going well, and you make a quick recovery and everything's okay. Definitely keep us up to date on all that. Let us know how you're doing. Let's see. John 42. Hey, Nick, could you drop a link to that Screen Rant article? Yes, I actually have it. So, yeah, you guys can check this out if you guys want to see what we were covering. Screen Rant. Let me paste that in there. All right, so I just put that in the chat. So if any of you guys were curious about that article, wanted to check it out, there's the link for it. I don't know if let me look and see if they have, I don't know if Screen Rant allows comments on the article. No, they do not. While I was looking at that, though, they do have another one. This would be an interesting one to go through. So this is another one that I just saw that they covered, and this is the 3 greatest moments from each movie in the original trilogy. So let me blow this up here so you guys can see it, and we can cut out those stupid ads because I freaking hate those stupid ads. So this is the 3 greatest moments from each movie in the original trilogy. So they were kind of being overly critical, in my opinion, on the OT in that last article. So let's see what they say on this. While the prequel and sequel trilogies each have plenty of detractors, Star Wars fans have been united in unanimously praising the original trilogy as a masterpiece. In telling the story of Luke Skywalker's hero's journey and Darth Vader's redemption, the original trilogy stuck the landing and then some. Agreed. Thanks to the Ewoks and the rehashed Death Star plot, Return of the Jedi isn't held in quite as high regard as the 1977 original or Empire Strikes Back, but it's still generally considered to be an epic conclusion to the saga. All 3 entries in the trilogy are filled with iconic moments. Agreed. And Jedi is, depending on the time of day, Jedi's my favorite. I love as I've gotten older, Empire has become a very close second to Jedi for me, and sometimes overtakes Jedi. in his first, but I absolutely love Jedi. But I was also like 4 years old when I saw it. So, all right. So, number 9, A New Hope, Binary Sunset. At their best, Star Wars stories can fill audiences with hope. A prime example of this is the Binary Sunset sequence. Luke, desperate to leave his aunt and uncle's moisture farm and join the rebellion's intergalactic struggle against the Empire, walks out and watches Tatooine's twin suns set over the horizon. This is one of the images that best encapsulates the spirit of Star Wars, beautifully set to the sounds of John Williams' The Force theme. Yeah, and that was an awesome scene. And John Williams is the GOAT when it comes to orchestrated movie music. I mean, I don't think you can get any better than John Williams scores. But yeah, that was an iconic moment. Loved it. Number 8, The Empire Strikes Back. Luke trips in AT-AT. But he actually doesn't. All right, let's see what they say. During the Battle of Hoth, the rebels contended with the Empire's AT-AT walkers. Luke goes out in a snowspeeder and gets the bright idea to attach a line to the AT-AT's ankles and wrap the line around its feet so it trips. The plane goes off without a hitch, and thanks to timeless, cutting-edge stop-motion effects, the spectacle of the moment still holds up today. So they were just giving him credit for the idea, even though he wasn't the one that actually did it. Wedge actually did that. But yeah, that was an awesome scene, and that's the one thing I can say about the original trilogy: the special effects and everything. I mean, you can catch some things that were off in the special effects, but overall, the special effects in the original trilogy still look great even today. I mean, it was so well done. If you look at The Last Starfighter, those special effects don't really hold up very well for today, which I'm still holding out hope for a sequel to The Last Starfighter. There's rumors that's being worked on. Whether or not we actually see it is another story, but yeah, the special effects of the OT is just it was on a whole another level when those movies came out back then. I mean, they did such a great job. Number 7, Return of the Jedi. R2 gives Luke his lightsaber as he's walking the plank. Great scene. When Jabba the Hutt takes the rebels out onto his barge to walk the plank over the Sarlacc pit, Luke reveals his backup plan. At the end of the plank, R2-D2 shoots Luke's lightsaber out at him, and he starts slashing his way through Jabba's skiff guards. Yes, that was freaking awesome. One of my probably most iconic favorite scenes ever in all 3 movies was that Jabba sail barge sequence. That whole fight, it was really well done. Number 6, A New Hope, the trash compactor. One of the most thrilling sequences in Star Wars Saga sees Luke, Leia, Han, and Chewie jumping down a chute to avoid stormtroopers' blaster fire and ending up in a trash compactor. They're attacked by Dianoga, whatever. I'm sure I totally butchered that. Lurking beneath the surface of the garbage water. Then the walls start closing in, and Luke desperately radios C-3PO to shut it down. That was a very intense scene for sure. Another classic scene from the OT, definitely. Let's see here. Number 5, The Empire Strikes Back. Yoda lifts Luke's X-Wing out of the swamp. Another great classic moment. When Luke senses that Han and Leia are in trouble, he wants to cut his Jedi training Dagobah short so he can go to help them. Yoda discourages him from going saying that he's not ready to face Darth Vader, but Luke doesn't think he has a choice. However, his X-Wing is stuck in the swamp. He tries to use the Force to lift it out, but deems it to be impossible and gives up. Then John Williams, uplifting Yoda in the Force, kicks in as Yoda holds up his hand, closes his eyes, and the X-Wing rises out of the swamp. This moment encapsulates what makes Star Wars so great. Another iconic, great moment for sure. Number 4, Return of the Jedi. The Falcon narrowly escapes the Death Star blast. Yes, Return of the Jedi just rehashed the Death Star plot, blah, blah, blah. When Lando Calrissian and Nin Nub have destroyed the Death Star's power station, they turn back and desperately flee from the explosion down a long network of tunnels as TIE fighters around them are engulfed in flames. The fire just catches up to the Falcon, and at the last second before it shoots out into space and makes it to safety. Yep, another great moment for sure. Number 3, A New Hope, blowing up the Death Star. Countless blockbusters, final battle sequences have paled in comparison to the sheer thrill of the Death Star trench run in the original Star Wars movie. From Han and Chewie's triumphant return to Obi-Wan's Force Ghost, encouraging Luke to use the Force. The Battle of Yavin is a perfect movie climax. Yeah, and you know, George didn't know if he was going to be able to do his other movies, and so even though it kind of left with Vader, you know, tumbling out into space and still being alive in his ship, you know, The Last Starfighter ended sort of the same way, and we never got a sequel to that movie. It really could have been just a single movie in itself without any additional movies, but thank God we did get more of them. Because they only got better. The Empire Strikes Back, number 2, No, I Am Your Father. I mean, I don't know what number 1 is.
So what's going to be number 1?
Yeah, I was just getting there to say I would almost put that one at number 1. So perhaps best plot twist in cinematic history.
What's the title of this?
The top 10 greatest moments in the OT.
I'm going to say the first moment is the opening scene of Star Wars where the Star Destroyer flies over. That's my guess.
Yeah. Since, let's see, I'm trying to think what mine, I'm going to probably say the redemption of Vader at the end of Jedi. I think they might put number 1. Okay. But I haven't seen what number 1 is either.
Mike Trout says you get to keep all the super chat money.
Let's see. Darth Vader's confession that he is Luke's father floored audiences in 1980. It's common knowledge now as the scene has been parodied countless times, and the prequel trilogy has filled in Anakin Skywalker's backstory. But back then, moviegoers' minds were blown by the reveal. The twist also raises the stakes ahead of the third and final chapter in the trilogy. If Vader's Luke's father, then he can still be brought back to the light. But similarly, Luke is susceptible to the dark side. Fans were left with all kinds of questions by Empire's famous downer ending. And I was like 1 year old when that movie came out. So I don't ever remember experiencing that because I was so young. I just kind of always remember Darth Vader being Luke's father. You know, I don't remember that moment seeing it for the first time and being like, what? You know,
I was too young to even know what was going on, probably.
Yeah, same here.
You know it?
Oh, I called it. Number 1, Return of the, and I did not look ahead on this article.
Well, it just means you're a shill. Like you're no different than Screen Rant.
Yeah. Return of the Jedi, Darth Vader's redemption. I literally couldn't think of anything else.
But you can understand why I would say the overhead.
Yeah, it was iconic, yeah. Because that is the name of the article, the top 10 most iconic moments in the OT. So number 1, Darth Vader's redemption. Although it inspired an endless slew of unearned redemption arcs in sci-fi and fantasy stories, including one in its own Disney-mounted sequel 30 years down the line, Return of the Jedi nailed the redemption of Darth Vader. He's not forgiven for his litany of war crimes against the galaxy, but he is forgiven in the eyes of his son after he sacrifices himself to briefly return to the light and kill the Emperor. Luke believed there was still good in Vader, and Vader died, proving him right. Vader's funeral, attended only by his son, solemnly watching his redeemed father's corpse burn on a pyre, is one of the most emotionally charged moments in the entire Star Wars saga. Yeah, I agree. I thought that was a good list.
I'm just waiting on the article that's going to come out that says Luke Skywalker was a mass murderer. He's not a hero.
Yeah. Oh, on the other article that you had brought up, they brought up diversity crap, how there wasn't enough people of color, how Lando was the only person of color, and I just pulled up some other people, or one example. There's other that I can automatically think of people of color that was in Star Wars, but Lando was definitely the only other main character. But there were, other people of color in Star Wars. And then Leia's slave bikini in the like sexualization of like women or something. It was stupid.
So I would like to say this to Cheyenne Hoover. So the absence of the 10 things that you listed, if we remove those now, Star Wars, the original trilogy, is flawless. See how ridiculous that is?
Mm-hmm.
Why on earth this? I mean, I know it's her job to write, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
But did she just wake up and say, you know what? I'm going to write about 10 problems I have with the original trilogy?
Yeah.
What? The last movie ended 39 years ago?
Yeah.
How about you write about something a little more recent? That's nearly 4 decades, man.
Yeah. Long time for sure.
Yeah. Well, if you guys ever find the perfect movie, don't watch it because it won't be perfect anymore.
Yeah. And I don't think there's a such thing as a perfect movie.
No, of course not. Of course not. So this is kind of funny. You know what we should do? We should write a response editorial to Cheyenne Hoover's. I did see Colleen mention to you we should invite Cheyenne onto the channel to have a discussion about these 10 things.
They would probably never come on here.
No.
Because I would
nice.
literally be like, "You're an idiot."
No, I wouldn't do
No,
that.
I wouldn't say that.
I would treat her kindly,
Yeah.
but I'd love to, like, what made you write this? And how long have you felt this way? And let's talk about this lightsaber fight. I didn't even get to read the whole thing because I had to step away. I was listening to the stream off and on. The last thing I saw was when Leia told Han to stop.
Yeah, she was basically saying something along the lines of like, it was another stupid one, just talking about like him, like kind of like forcing himself on her or something, or I can't remember what exactly she said in that one, but it follows the type of character that Han Solo's character is. So, I mean, that's just who Han is. I mean, he was like the pimp,
Yeah. So, did you read any more that you liked, that you agreed with, that you could see their point?
I think there was one other one.
Absolutely, Michelle. I'm not. I'm not. While Nick's pulling that up, I'm going to pull up another article myself. This one just came out today. You guys are going to love this. Daisy Ridley says the Mandalorian's Baby Yoda is cheating with his force healing. Yep. We just said that. That's something that she actually said in an interview just the other day. I feel like Baby Yoda has an easier time being a Force healer than her character. Look, I don't even want to read it. Like it's okay. What are y'all's thoughts about that? She's basically throwing shade at Baby Yoda, saying he's too powerful for no reason. How ironic.
So the only other one on here that I kind of saw an argument for was the second Death Star.
Okay. All right.
Um,
So wait.
but
I'm
but
just
but
gonna.
but
I
but
didn't
I
read
didn't.
it, so let me just guess. They're gonna say something to the effect of, "You just did the Death Star. The rebellion would never let you get away with trying to do that again. Why don't you come up with a different plan?"
Yeah,
Kind
basically, yeah.
of. Okay, that's
And
about the
my
only thing I could possibly see.
yeah, and I can understand that argument, but my point of view on it that I was saying was basically it's a bigger, more powerful Death Star. The same flaws as the first one. They kind of learned their lessons from that first one, and it's also the. I got to take this. I'll be back.
That's okay. So, guys, I'll look. Let's just do it. Oh, don't need to share that. Let's just go over this article because y'all are all commenting on it. So let's just go. Let's just go. All right. So here we go. I'll read it quickly and get y'all's thoughts. Star Wars Daisy Ridley. Let me make it a little bigger for you guys. Star Wars is Daisy Ridley has accused Baby Yoda of cheating with force healing. The actress played Rey in the most recent film Trilogy, who used her Jedi abilities to heal Kylo Ren in Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker, with him later returning the favor. Another possessor of this unique ability is Grogu, aka Baby Yoda from the franchise's spin-off, The Mandalorian. In speaking recently, Daisy joked that Grogu is almost cheating by using his cuteness to make those abilities seem more impressive than Rey's. Here's the thing, she says. Baby Yoda is immensely powerful, but also Baby Yoda is almost cheating because he's so sweet that whatever Baby Yoda did, you're like, oh, Daisy told the fandom. Wrong. He ate some eggs and we weren't like, oh. So she doesn't watch anything. Whereas I'm human, so I don't have that. So I feel like Baby Yoda has had an easier time being a Force healer because it's Baby Yoda being a Force healer. We're both good in that space, but he definitely has cuteness on me. The comments follow. Daisy recently responded to rumors that she will play Spider-Woman. Daisy will be seen next in the long-awaited movie Chaos Walking. Okay, well, that's it. She's human, so she doesn't have it like that. Baby Yoda has had an easier time being a Force healer. Let's see what you guys have to say about that. Pot calling the kettle black. Leave our little Grogu alone. Grogu had years of training. Sounds like Daisy Ray has drank the Disney Kool-Aid in order to get more roles. Professional jealousy. Grogu is outselling Ray's action figure many times. No doubt about that. Oh, that's funny. Baby Yoda, 50 years and started his life in the Jedi Temple. Where did Rey start, and how long had she been using the Force? Very true. It was a freaking trap for the Rebel Alliance. The problem is Daisy knows nothing about Star Wars. She's an actress playing a part. So true. So true. Rey didn't have anywhere near enough training and demonstrating so many Force powers you'd think the writer never paid attention to the franchise. 100% agree. Jealousy at its finest. Mike Trout. Daisy should have thrown on that slave costume. Oh my goodness. Grogu passes out just doing minimal things. That's true. That's funny. Oh my goodness. Christian Jones with the super chat. Christian with a $5 super chat. Mary Sue Palpatine set the standard already, so Grogu being able to do it, it's that big of a deal. Yeah. The amazing Wonder Ray. That's what Doomcock calls her. And that's really, really funny stuff. Thank you, Christian, for that super chat, my friend. We are Echo Based Network. Unfortunately, I do not have a video with Ray in it. And we're never going to, I don't think. But brother, this super chat is for you, this video, and we are Echo Based Network. A real Star Wars hero. All right, guys. So thank y'all so much for popping in here and being a part of this stream. We may do some gameplay later tonight, but we definitely wanted to come on here and hit these silly articles. Dear God, don't ever make a video of her. Don't worry, Christian. Don't worry. I will not. I promise. So one thing that we always like to do is close out the show with a Mexican Iron Man in self-contemplation, the ever-popular mini-series here at Echo Base Network. So we're going to go ahead and play that now, and we hope that you guys enjoy it. We could be back here in a few hours. I definitely got to get my Jedi Fallen Order on and get through that series. So hope that you guys join us. And if you haven't seen it already, go and check out the newest episode of Retrospectives that we released today, where we basically give the entire backstory of the Bad Batch. So yes. And looky there, we have another super chat from the wonderful Colleen. Colleen Guerra sends $5. She says, the Standard is now trying to out-victim Meghan Markle. Poor Ray, she can't even come close. Yup, what a terrible character, and I wish Daisy Ridley would just leave it alone. Just leave it alone. Colleen, you are wonderful, ma'am. We are Echo Based Network. We just love you being part of the team, and this video is for you. All right, guys. Thank y'all so much for coming in. And, ooh, look at that chest hair. Thank you guys so much for coming in and being here in this truly random stream that we've got going on. We're going to go ahead and exit now with this Mexican Iron Man in self-contemplations. We love you guys. We are Echo Based Network. And we will be back later on tonight, perhaps, with some gaming and maybe another random stream. So hope you guys enjoyed it. And if we had a little bit more time, we would certainly do pop-ins, but maybe we'll do that tonight. So thanks for being here, and we will see y'all later.